Greetings and welcome to Edward's Generative AI podcast. Today is Friday, March 7, 2025, and this is Edward's Generative podcast about the impact of the DOGE facility closures in North Carolina. Today we are going to discuss how the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, led by Elon Musk, is closing over 20 government facilities in North Carolina, raising questions about the economic, social, and political impacts, especially near Siler City and Pittsboro.
Hold on, Captain, before we get all wonky with the details, what's DOGE stand for again? Is that like, Dogecoin's government cousin?
A fair question, Mike. It's the Department of Government Efficiency.
Efficiency, huh? Sounds like someone's been watching too many cooking shows, trying to cut the fat.
Indeed, according to DOGE, these closures will save about $668 million lease costs alone, with about 376, 90/20 of that attributable to North Carolina.
Millions, you say? That's a lot of pigeons. So what exactly is getting the axe?
Several key facilities, including Social Security Administration offices, IRS office, EOS offices, and even a U.S. Civil Corps of Engineers warehouse.
Social Security, IRS. That's hitting folks where it hurts. So how's this going to affect our listeners in Siler City and Pittsboro?
Well, the closures will increase travel burdens, especially for those in rural areas or with limited transportation.
Translation: more driving, more gas, more headaches.
Precisely. The closure of Social Security offices could pose challenges for elderly or low-income residents needing in-person assistance.
So, Grandma's got to drive an hour to get her check. That ain't right.
It's a valid concern, and the Farm Service Agency closures could hinder farmers from receiving recovery funds.
Farmers, too. That's like punching Mother Nature in the face.
The report also mentions conflicting information about the Wilmington U.S. Civil Corps of Engineers warehouse.
So even DOGE's got some fake news.
It appears there were some revisions and corrections to their initial claims.
So it sounds like some of these closures were planned before DOGE even showed up to the party.
That's right, and a Farm Service Agency office may just be moving locations, not closing entirely.
Sounds like they are doing the old switcheroo.
Moving on, the long-term economic challenges in Chatham and Lee counties are compounded by increasing water and wastewater demands.
Water and what now?
Wastewater, Mike. It appears Sanford is expanding its water treatment plant to help Siler City and Pittsboro.
So, while DOGE's cutting services, someone else is stepping up to keep the water flowing.
Indeed. Projections show a significant increase in water demand for Lee and Chatham counties, requiring substantial infrastructure improvements.
So, basically, they're saving money in one hand, but potentially costing us more in water bills with the other.
The estimated cost for infrastructure improvements across the study area is over the odd $10 billion.
Billions. That's enough to buy a whole flock of pigeons their own condos.
The legal authority and transparency of DOGE are also under scrutiny.
So, they're cutting costs, but are they cutting corners, too?
There have been instances of inflated savings claims and a lack of transparency in grant terminations.
Sounds like somebody needs a fact checker in their corner.
And the closures could impact disaster relief efforts, particularly with the U.S. Civil Corps of Engineers warehouse.
So, if a hurricane hits, we're stuck waiting for Elon Musk to deliver sandbags with a rocket.
One hopes not. Lawmakers are reacting differently, with some expressing concern about the impact on their constituents.
Surprise, surprise. Politicians actually caring about people.
Alternative solutions include consolidating services into fewer, more efficient facilities.
Or maybe, not cutting everything in the first place.
In conclusion, these closures have far-reaching consequences that warrant careful consideration.
So, what's the bottom line for our listeners near Siler City and Pittsboro?
Accessibility to government services will likely decrease, potentially impacting vulnerable populations. It's essential to stay informed, advocate for your needs, and consider alternative solutions for accessing services.
In other words, buckle up, buttercups. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Thanks for listening, meat bags.